he's the patron。咁佢公司係維記嘅3間上市公司，he's the 老闆，right？And then obviously he's a very wealthy guy, deep pocket。咁佢event boy 嗰度簽名。所以呢個係一個 social environment。我哋 socializing 喺 Jonathan，我哋係 socialize，用英文先。
She graduated already. Sorry, working. Yeah. I'll call you.
You're Timothy. Is it Timothy?
Yeah, Timothy.
Timothy. I know this good gentleman. This good.
咁攞咗啲經驗啦，都知道唔係我自己想要嘅。咁學咗好多嘢，咁之後就喺度諗啦，有乜嘢係可以做銷售，又可以有 career path 咧？咁
personal contest. We only do titles once a week, twice a week. Chill and then come out and do something not about it.
搞呢個即係 entrepreneurship 嘅嘢，都係想睇下究竟自己學嘅嘢同埋可唔可以 combine 埋一齊啦，或者即係其實而家即係創業嘅機會多咗好多，其實唔一定係同埋 YouTube 咁就未有。
Education goes beyond textbooks, right? But a lot of Hong Kong students, we don't understand that. We thought if we have a 3.9 GPA, we're going to check in with JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and I'm going to be on my way up. It's not true. Or I could join AIA, and hopefully one day I'll be sitting in a corner office, being managing director or whatever STP you guys are called, right? It's not true. You have to know a lot more beyond your textbooks, beyond your major, beyond the subject that you study, to get to where you want to be. Okay? So in a nutshell, this is what STC is all about. We want you guys to know a lot outside the sphere of education. For example, symphonies, classical music, arts, culture, interior design, churches, old churches in Europe, sports, entertainment, geopolitical issue. What's happening right now in Syria? Anybody know what's happening in Syria? What's happening in France right now? COVID, UK, and US, election coming up in 5 days. Right? All right? Yeah. It's going to be a mess, Exactly.
Either way wins, either way losses.
Right? A lot of people said that these two candidates, right? Joe Biden and Donald Trump.
It's like
Yeah. So they say, we're going to pick the lesser of the two evils. So things like this. So you guys got to know a lot of these things. So one day, you want to climb popularity, you'll be able to sit in the corner office. So in a nutshell, this is what it is. Small talk show. Socializing platform, we're very relaxed. We don't do heavy duty stuff. Okay? All right. Okay. Now we're going to show a 2-minute video to kickstart this evening. After this, I'm going to shut up. You guys talk, and we pull up some chairs up here. And anybody want to come and sit in a hot seat? You can do that. And then, those sitting down there can ask questions, and you answer. And then we play this game for a little while, and then these guys go back down there, and then some new guys come up and sit on a hot seat. It's going to be a fun game. We want to really test your EQ, not IQ. We're going to see how much you know about whatever. Is it good? Good. Right, Elise, is it okay?
Yes.
And Leon, right? Leonard.
Yeah,
Leonard, right? Yeah, exactly. All right, now we're going to show that video, right? Crystal here, Crystal. Crystal, you want to show that video? Thank you. We're going to flick the lights off here. Excellent. Your name is?
Mitchell.
Mitchell? He said he doesn't want to chase money. Nothing about cash. No.
I mean, of course I need cash.
Well, you need cash, you need everybody needs money to survive, right? But that is not what you're really after, you know, money is okay, you know, but you want to do something for the society. Do good to others, do good to society. I'm looking at you. You want to say a few words?
I think I completely agree with that, doing something for the society, but as cliched as it sounds, but I really want something that will motivate me to get out of bed. Because all my life we've been following one set pattern of school, then college, and I do want some sort of certainty, but some new things that I have every day, that I chase, that I overpower, that I complete.
Yes.
That's exciting, basically.
Right, whatever is exciting.
Yes.
Whatever is exciting, whatever gets you out of bed in the morning, 6 o'clock, says, I'm going to get up and do something, right? It's not that you're going to throw the alarm clock to the wall and break it and say, I want to get up, I don't want to get up, you know? Okay, so one more here. Who wants to say something about chasing dreams? What kind of dream are you chasing? Anybody volunteer? No, it's okay, it's fine, it's okay. Can I pick someone? Huh? All right. Okay, Leonard. Leonard, you're going to tell me about your dream. Okay, Leonard?
As cliche as
young man, Leonard. Okay?
as cliche as I just said, that's cliche.
Okay.
A lot of people actually thought because I work and study at both at the same time, they think I want money. They think I want success. They think I want whatever that is that the society is selling us. But my only dream is when I leave this world one day, hopefully not tomorrow.
A long time.
I want people to remember what I've did, and people can benefit from what I did.
Very good. Leonard, you hit it. One of you guys just hit it on the nail, you know? You want to do something not necessarily for money, and you want to get up early in the morning and say, yes, it's a new day, it's a new beginning. And Leonard is saying that, you know, he wants to leave a footprint. He wants to leave a footprint, a little legacy, right? Right. So when you go to heaven, you know, you talk to the guy up there and say, hey, I did something on earth.
Can I not go to hell?
You won't go to hell. Nobody goes to hell, right? Well, this is a great idea, a great chasing whatever that you are chasing for, right? Like this young lady just said, you know, obviously we need money to survive. We need money. You want to do good to the society, you want to do good to others, you need money to do that, right? You need wherewithal, you need financial wherewithal. But right now, you know, 2022, poor students, maybe you have rich parents, I don't care, right? But we got to do something to build up ourselves financially. Then one day when you're 40, 45, 50, you say, I'm going to do something not about money, okay? So this is what we want to do. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys are a little shy, you don't want to say anything, you know, you want to say anything in public, but it's okay, but I'm sure deep down you're thinking about that. You build up yourself from 20 to 40, 45, and then, you know, you do something else, right? Now, getting wealthy, getting rich is not a sin, trust me, okay? A lot of people say, you know, who just said that, you know? As if, you know, I'm a sinner, you know, I'm a grabber, I'm profiteering. I wanted money. I want to get more money, I want to get more money, I want to get more money. Not really. You get a lot of money, fantastic, because you have a talent for making money. But don't forget to give back to the society. That's all there is to it. You know, like Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Ellison, Warren Buffett. 周潤發香港 right? I don't watch movies, but I hear 周潤發要 give up， 係咪？係咪捐咗好多錢出嚟？ I think his lifetime earning, basically, he said, you know, I don't need money. I live, right? 周潤發 he lives a very simple life with his wife. He said, you know, all this money that I amassed over the years, I'm going to give back to society. So, this is great. Now, I'm going to shut up. Okay? I want you guys to talk.
I want to ask a question. It's about housing problem.
There we go. Coming out hot.
Excellent question.
Yes, I'm a very superficial person.
Oh, you're not. You're not.
Sure.
Yes, because I'm studying and just want to earn more money to buy a comfortable house. Unfortunately, under this situation, very difficult to afford a house. Do you guys suggest that we need to buy a house or we need to roll this means we are 租一個單位 or we need to yes, wonderful work. Do you have any suggestion for the future to buy a housing? I have no idea. So maybe you guys will give me some idea.
Okay, good. Excellent question. It's a really pressing issue in Hong Kong, housing, land policy, housing.
I do have a superficial answer to that. Earn more money.
All right.
That's your thing to get a housing.
Oops, sorry.
But honestly, I did, I completely agree with you. I've been in Hong Kong for like a year now, and I've been like apartment searching, and it is like a task, and especially because it is the most expensive place on the earth to live. But I don't see any short-term like an initiative or like an effect that will resolve this problem anytime soon. So I just feel that it is what it is, and we really have to like deal with it. And yes, earn more money. I really like jokes apart, but we really do need to earn more money and live the life, like the standards that we want to live in.
Okay, good. Next person.
I have a contrary opinion.
All right, great.
So, as ironic as
Arashi, am I distinct?
Arashi, okay. So as true as Arashi, what Arashi told you is true. Earn more money, then you can get your lifestyle. But I do agree one thing, and one thing only. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the United Nations Human Rights what's that thing called? The United 聯合國人權公約 in Cantonese. So on the very first article of that thing, it says every person deserves the right to live the life they want. And that doesn't actually like give an excuse to the government to say, hey, it's your life, you live it your way. As much as us has to give a bigger responsibility, like, hey, the government doesn't have it, have to give you what you want. You have to earn your way. But the problem is, for this generation, for our generation in this age, the biggest problem for us is the lack of social upward mobility. So what I can say is, short term, there is only one way that we can let people like us to afford something that is livable, and that is if we can fully put the land reserve that we have on hand to use. And more specifically, it's not just towards the people that are needed, like, I'm gonna put it away, traditionally needed, like the elderly, the poor ones, and more importantly, we also need our share too. We are the society's future, the people this society is gonna be ours in 10 years or 20 years. And if we didn't get a chance to at least try and live the way we want, then how are we going to, how do you say it? Let me put it this way, more superficially. If you don't even have a place to live, how can you talk about lifestyle? So yeah.
Very good. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Sir, what is your name?
Oh, my name is Caesar.
Oh, Season. I think I can give you two suggestions. First of all, the land problem. I think if you can believe the government, then you do not need to bother on this problem. Yeah, right. So my second suggestion is that this is also come from one of my boss that I work as an intern in London. You earn the money in Hong Kong or in Singapore or other places, but you don't need to live in there. After you retire, you can have money to buy in other places. So I don't think it's. I think
If you have a long question, you would actually lose people, right? And when you answer a question, keep it to the point, right? This is like a debate session, right? So that people understand what you're saying. Short and sweet and succinct. To the point, right? Okay. Anybody? Take a shot, right?
Yeah, sure. So, from the previous three speakers, it's been clearly established that housing is obviously a problem here in Hong Kong. So, because I'm an international student, so living was obviously a problem for me. But unlike your situation, my university has sponsored me a place. However, I know a friend who was in a similar situation like you. He just graduated. So what he did was he was working somewhere in Central. But he looked for a place outside the Hong Kong Island, like he was living in Lam Island. He's living in Lam Island. Basically, if you research about the places here in Hong Kong, and I won't lie that he has a good place to live, he's living a good life. Right now, the house is pretty much comfortable for him. So maybe if you research more and maybe if you just put out some time for this, you might be able to find a good place to live. And honestly, if this doesn't work out, you obviously have your parents' house to live by. So unless and until you don't own that amount of money that you can afford your own house, you can obviously live with them. That's what I suggest.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I'll just keep it
All
short.
right. Keep it short and nice and sweet.
Okay.
Short and sweet. Okay, short and sweet.
I would say I agree that we have to pursue or do what we want to do, but actually the housing problem is really issue that you have to solve. So I have a suggestion that maybe you can do what you want to do, but at the same time you can maybe rent a small house or flat that can support your daily life, and then keep doing what you want to do. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So this 5 guys are done. Okay. Now I don't mean to criticize. This is a constructive suggestion. Okay. And when you try to answer a question, you actually answer it.
Okay.
But none of you guys answer. Right? You guys just expressed opinion. Can I give a superficial answer?
Yeah, sure.
Because you say you're superficial. You're not superficial. This is pressing issue in Hong Kong. I wrote articles in the South China Morning Post. I can actually share with you guys about 4 or 5 years ago. I have 3 suggestions, okay? These are actually answers to solve housing problems. 上車屋或者上唔到車, right? My number 1 is, as a university student, when you graduate, Hong Kong government will guarantee you starting salary, entry-level jobs. If you're pouring coffee, serving, making copies, Xerox copies, I don't care what you do. But at entry-level jobs, $20,000. $20,000. This is suggestion number 1. Okay? But you're going to treat university graduates like human beings with decency. So $20,000. If a company says, I can only afford $4,000, good. Government will step up for the $8,000. Just top it up to $20,000. Number 1. Is it good? That's good, right? Well, I'm sure if you work Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, probably make $75,000, $80,000 just to start, right? But maybe only 0.5% of those guys can actually make that kind of salaries. I'm talking about the masses. I'm talking about you guys. Maybe one of you are actually very smart. I don't care. But Hong Kong, I see 95% of the graduates, 21 years old, they make maybe around, what, 12,000 a month? Is it 12,000? Probably the mean figure. Okay, so you're the 95%. Okay, number 2 suggestion. 呢個正啊，呢個。All these developers in Hong Kong, 4大定8大, I don't care who they are. You put out flats, and I mean, what's the market going rate right now? 17,000, 18,000 a square foot. So you're喺元朗大埔, far-fetched area, some okay. Okay, I said, you put out $8,000 a square foot apartment, a minimum 600 square feet. So I lay down the rule. I said, hey, we're not pigs, this is not a pigsty. This is actually an apartment. So it's a 600 square foot apartments at $8,000 a square foot 4.8 million. You can borrow some money from the parents and the balance from the bank, then you're in there, right? So I said, you guys are 冇良心啊啲 developer, right? How can people afford $18,000 and you actually live in 天水圍? And you guys know Hong Kong is the most expensive housing market in the world. Crazy, right? So number 3, now this is a bit of, actually politics, but I'm so sorry, I have to break the rule here. I break my own rule. I said national education. National education. We don't have national education here in Hong Kong. As much as I actually educated in Canada, USA, New York, whatever, I speak English. I'm very international. When I was young, 40, 50 years old, I had my own companies. When I was 30, 35, I was managing director for a multinational company. Okay? But I'm hot blood Chinese. Come on, you cannot deny you're Chinese. How could you turn your back against your own mother country? People couldn't figure me out. So you speak beautiful English, you know a lot of things that we don't know. You're very international, very multinational. Your image is actually not a typical Hong Kong Chinese. I said, you're wrong, I'm hot blood Chinese. I'm bicultural, right? So, number 1, what is that? $20,000 minimum wage, starting salary, entry-level starting salary. Number 2, what is number 2?
Affordable housing.
Affordable housing, 8,000 square foot. Now, when you say affordable housing, that's not actually an answer. You're going to be more specific. I was specific. It's actually in the Morning Post. I'll show you. 8,000 square foot, and minimum 600 square feet apartment. 4.8 million. Okay, number 3, national education. All right, 大灣區. Great big area. I mean, you guys actually go, 係咪叫大灣區? 英文係咩? Greater Bay Area, right? I think brilliant. Our kids and our grandchildren, I think their future is actually in Taiwan. Greater Bay Area. Greater Bay Area. And you don't have to be a Chinese to work in Taiwan. I have a lot of foreign friends who work in Shanghai, Peking, Tianjin, Guangzhou. They're foreigners. They don't speak a word of English. Chinese, maybe they do. And they marry Chinese ladies. They have kids, and they're foreigners. Do they have to identify themselves with CCP? What is CCP? Chinese Communist Party. They don't have to, right? You work in China, you're making a good living, you have a good career in China, but not necessarily that you have to identify with the Chinese Communist Party. You can, but you cannot. Or you would not. You don't believe in that system. So what about us? If foreigners can actually live and make a good living in China, why can't us? We could do the same thing here, right? Now, okay, I think we're done with this, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, another 5 guys come up. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is a fun game. I don't want to embarrass you. Nothing to be embarrassed about. Do you want to ask a question? Good.
Don't be so difficult.
Great. Thank you.
So I just want to ask a question about the work-life balance. So I think some people think this is just a lie because some successful people often work day and night and they don't even rest. But how do you think about the work-life balance?
Wow, I like work-life balance. This is what we don't have in Hong Kong. Great question again. My goodness. The first one was really pointed question, right? 上車屋, affordable housing. And now you guys really hit the nail, right? You hit the head of the nail. Okay, work-life balance. Do we have it in Hong Kong?
Well, I don't think we have that in Hong Kong.
Right, we don't have it, yes.
Personally, I believe we work to live, not live to work. I'm really nervous right now.
This is great, I love it.
Yeah, Yeah, and I believe that people should live at the moment and do whatever you really enjoy, not people tell you what to do or you think that's beneficial for you, yeah, to gain something or, yeah, I think that's all. Thanks.
I think, you hit it on the nail again, you
Thank you.
work to live? No, you live to work.
Yeah.
So Hong Kong people want work to live. Yes, sir.
Adding on to what she said, I think the problem we have is that we don't separate our lives, our social life and our professional life. It's very much intertwined. So I think something which I think that Europeans do well is that if their work ends at 5, it ends at 5. And when you're going on a dinner with somebody, you don't talk about what work they did in the morning, but you talk about other issues, you discuss about politics, you just talk about your life. And that's what we don't have here. I think that's what we should have. Plan it out well and scatter it.
How do you solve the problem?
I think it's just the culture that, for example, in the work environment as well, for some reason employers do usually expect you to work after hours or like take some assignments home. So I think the goal is to once create this culture that if the work hours are from 8 to 6, it should be 8 to 6, and the work should not be left to be done at home or something like that. And
Okay.
that should be.
Yeah. Good. Michael?
Hello everyone, my name is Michael. There's some point of view on saying this question, in my opinion, because balance to everyone is different. I mean, maybe for Mithil right here, balance is working for like 9 hours a day and having his break like 5 hours a day. Maybe that's balance for Mithil. But for me, it might be different. It might be I want to work for 12 hours a day and have my break for 2 hours, and that's enough. So, in achieving work and life balance, there's always some point of views in seeing.
Okay. Get your point. Yeah.
And for me myself, well, because I'm still young and I still have my energy, I still have my passion and my courage. I prefer to work for like 20 years until I'm 40, then I have my life after that.
Okay.
So I work for 20 years and live my life for the next 30 years.
And that's the plan, that's a different plan.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you. This young lady?
Hello, my name is Barry. I think it depends on yourself because if someone enjoy his work, maybe he just think work is his life, and if someone just work for it and maybe the work is a tired thing for him. If you can control your life and work in balance, and maybe it is your ability, and it's an important ability in this daily life, and maybe someone everything has different responsibilities in your life. You may be a mother, you may be a wife, and if you can balance time wisely, maybe you can live much better in the future, I think.
Okay, thank you. Sally,
Yeah,
Sally.
so in my opinion, I think I know Hong Kong has a great pressure in their working or studying. As I'm a student in university as well. So for me, I have two methods. The first is to have a timetable that you can arrange the time that you have to do, such as you have to complete the proposal or project before dinner or before the time when you're sleeping. So you may have a clear timetable each day, so you may follow it. And the second method is you may plan the priority that the work which is important or which is less important. So the important things, if the work is important, so you have to finish before sometimes if this work is not necessary or not very important, so you may finish it later. So to have a balanced lifetime, so you may have a better time for sleeping or better time to relax yourself. So I think the one important tool is your mobile phone, especially your clock. So for me, I think in my mobile phone, I usually turn on my clock and also turn some 15 or 20 minutes for me to take a rest, and after that moment, so I have to work again. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Again, you know, work-life balance is a big subject in Hong Kong. As you all agree that we don't have that in Hong Kong, right? Some people prefer to work. They're workaholics. Now, we don't want to talk about it. Those actually belong to the workaholic category. Like they want to work 12 hours, 14 hours a day, so be it. But most people have a need for rest. They have to go home to cook dinner. They have young children. They have old folks at home they've got to take care of. And those people, you know, need work-life balance. But the unfortunate thing in Hong Kong is you work 12 hours a day is not by choice. It's by force. That's why I'm talking by force. A lot of companies, especially those trading companies in the old days, because the boss is not leaving the office. All the little peons sitting down there, they're not leaving the office either. So what they do is just turn on the phone and play games. Right? They play games, they do personal emails. They just want to kill time until the boss is leaving the office. Then they say, okay, boss left, we're leaving now. Now, is that right? Is that attitude right? No. That's absolutely wrong, isn't it? That's erroneous. You don't want to do that just to kill time because the boss is still in the office. That's not right. So, I mean, that subject, there's no right or wrong answers. I always say, you know, you just express your opinion. There's no solution to that. But there's a solution to the first question. Affordable housing, right? But this one here, you know, you prefer to work 14 hours? Not by force, by choice. Welcome to it. But you want to work 9 hours, 8 hours a day, you want to get home at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock? By choice, you can do it. So that is the question, right? It's not because the boss is still sitting in the corner office, you can't leave the office. All right, I think we're done for the day. Okay, we talked too much already. I mean, I talked too much already. So why don't we just sit around here, have a little group photo.